Hello, this is part 6, and this is pretty much the finish. This has been a quick and dirty exercise in just a quick project you can get done in an afternoon. The embroidery takes a little bit more time, but I'm going to show you what I used and how you can use it. Except I don't know what I did with my, oh, there it is. I thought I put it right next to me. Okay, so I used a Silky permanent ink iron-on pen. I used blue. It's a white thing. I'm going to embroider over it. So the blue isn't going to show. These things don't bleed. You draw on the paper with this pen, and then you use a hot iron and put it on. It's fabulous. I love them. So let me show you. So I finished my edging, you can see that, and I have ironed on my image. Okay, and I'm going to use my hoop here. I don't really like hoops. Everybody knows I don't like hoops. I say it all the time, I hate hoops, but when it comes to a small project like this, they are pretty useful. If I had wanted to do it properly, I would have put my pattern, drawn my pattern on fabric, stretched it on a slate frame, embroidered it, cut it out of the slate frame, and then put it together. But I didn't have a slate frame free. So I'll put that in a hoop and I'll embroider the butterfly. But what I kind of wanted to show you in this video is I finished with machine sewing the straps because I ran out of patience. And that leaves me this nice band here to do some embroidery. I do a variety of things with embroidery on these caps. One of my favorite ones, if you look here, I'm coming in on the back side so that my knot will be hidden. If I put a knot in it, because I wasn't thinking about what I was doing. I try to put a fairly small knot. I try to run it up behind. Now I'm only decorating the part of the cap that ends at this hem. So one of my favorite ones to do is an X pattern. So I'll go all the way around with this X pattern, and then I'll come back with a contrasting color, or I can show you this way here. So I'm going forward with this contrasting fabric or contrasting color. So I do that for a little while, and you want it to kind of be at an angle, and then you'll come back here and cross it so that it crosses. And then I usually go back with a third color and I put a little dot where they cross. I just do a little stitch where they cross. And it creates a really, really simple, elegant design on the band. It's attractive, it's simple, and it adds a little bit of bling right next to your face, and it breaks up that white. White for many of us is probably not a great choice of color because it washes your skin out really bad. So some people resort to makeup. I don't. I put a little color on my band to help with that, and off we go. So I'm getting to the end of my thread here. You can see that you don't want to use a thread more than the length of your arm because it just gets knotted up. But that also means you have to change your thread fairly often. So I will go through the fabric to the opposite side. See? Just like that. Now I'm on the inside. And I'll do just a couple really small stitches. You don't want to put a knot here because this is going to be right up against your head and your forehead, and you'll end up with a headache or the potential for a headache. Okay. And then you have your next thread, and it's going to have a knot in it for just a minute, and I'm going to show you what I do here. I go up underneath. Well, I really don't have to do that. I'll do it this way. I'll show you how to do it this way. Same way I did before, in and out. I'm going to go further down. Red's one of those that shows really well, so you can kind of see all the little extra stitching I'm doing. And I want to come up here because I want to create that diagonal. See how I did that? And I'm going at the opposite direction from the way I did it before, but that works too. Whatever suits your fancy so that you remember your pattern. And I have this stain on this, which is a little bit of a rusting from my sewing iron, so I will be using some rust away on that. Oop, I lost my pattern. Fairly easy to fix. You just pull it right back out again. Since it's a straight stitch, you don't really have to worry about undoing a lot of stuff. I think part of creating something is occasionally messing up. At least that's how I look at it. Now I do want some of my stitches to be a little closer right here at the top. I kind of like that because it just, that's that part underneath the veil that everybody sees. Some of the other stuff, they can't always see what you've done on the back side because you've got a veil and a wimple covering it. So if some of your stitches are a little closer together up top, it accents it a little bit better. Okay. So while I'm thinking about it, I want to do the accent because I want to show you that. So give me a second here. So my thread is not longer than my arm. I'm going to thread a needle here. I had all my needles pre-threaded and I totally forgot about the contrasting color. Sorry about that. You have to wait a little bit. Off camera, needle threading. So I'm using 3 threads of yarn here. I'm going to go in back. Okay. So you touch at the base and you go up